What's up, everybody? So I got to go out to Detroit. Um, we filmed a whole bunch. I'm basically just gonna voice over this kind of raw training footage. I'm showing the warm ups. I'm showing the working sets. Just kind of one or two of each. It's not the whole session, but I really just wanted to talk about my plans going forward. Um, Basically, I got there. I talked to Mike. I was like, "Hey, I want to do the Atlanta Pro. I want to keep going. I want to keep dieting." By that time, I had already really kind of dipped into this point where I had a lot of body water, and systemic fatigue was insane. I had already been training with high volumes for much longer than I think is um, good. I think that training with high volumes, much over 16 to 20 weeks, is a good call for a resensitization period where you do lower volumes. And I'd already been dieting for much longer than I think is good as well before you start running into a bunch of issues. Muscle loss being the biggest downfall there at the end. So the weight cap is a pain in the ass. It really just comes down to me being built for the open class, and ultimately this decision coming, like talking with Mike and coming to a logical decision of, I'm 30. I've wanted to do the open class for quite some time now. So I think basically what's going to happen is I trained this week here with them. I basically just hopped in on Mike's session, so you're not going to see any cards pop up of what I did exactly, because I was following Mike's program for him leading into the Masters Nationals, which is in about 3 weeks, 2 weeks. I just wanted to be there for him and be his training partner, like truly go through everything with him, so that way he had somebody for that hard week of training he had. So that's what I did. But basically we got to talking, and again, ultimately that decision led to it's time to push to the open. So I train excessively weak at this point. Like I think on the hack squats I only get to 405. For me, that is nothing, and I literally only did 12 reps, and it was a fucking hard 12 reps. So we could just tell that I was really, really fatigued, and it was time to do something. So I trained a deload prior to the Mid-USA Pro, got ultra dehydrated, took another half-week deload, trained a couple of hard sessions with Tristan, went out to Detroit, trained a couple hard sessions with Mike, came back here to the Vegas, and I basically trained light. So I'm starting hard training again now. That was kind of my active rest period. So really I'm just going to map out everything and how it's going to look, basically with training, diet, farm, all that. So training wise, I'm going to finish up about 2 weeks of lower volume. That's going to be my maintenance period. When you maintain, you basically drop farm, drop food, and drop training volume, all to maintenance. So I'm going to my sports HRT. I have been on that for about a week. I'm going to maintenance calories, which for me are around 4,500 to 5,000. And I'm going to maintenance training volumes, which is about 5 to 10 sets per body part per week, depending on the body part, depending on where you're at in your career, etc. My hamstrings, to be honest, can maintain on like 4 sets per week. But it's going to be a couple weeks of just boring ass training, a bunch of mundanity. So I wanted to get a video out for you guys and tell you what I'd be doing. So again, maintenance periods and active rest tend to follow competition seasons. That's what I'm doing. As far as periodization goes, normally I would honestly take the 3 to 4 weeks post-contest, eat a bunch of food, train super fucking hard, get crazy pumps. But I was so systemically fatigued, it was impossible. The second I introed more food, I just got more and more tired. That's how systemically fatigued I was. My body was like, oh, great, you're finally getting it. Fucking recover, you idiot. And I was just sleepy all damn day. So that's how I normally do it. Kind of that 3-4 weeks post-contest. Keep the farm roughly the same, taking out orals. And then I would train hard, get pumps, look crazy. Instead, this time, I trained hard a couple days. Trained with Tristan here in Vegas. Trained hard a couple days with Mike. Kept the farm up because I was going to compete. The second one made a decision that I wasn't going to, and that I was way too systemically fatigued. We dropped it down just a tad, ultimately dropping it down to sports HRT and pushing my calories to maintenance immediately. So I went from about 218 to 240 in a week and a half or 2 weeks. Body weight's currently around 237, and I'm just going to maintain this 235 to 240 while on sports HRT. From there, I'm going to mass up. I'm going to slowly increase carbohydrates, slowly increase pharmacology over a very slow period of time. But the cool thing about this is you guys get to basically see me document my transition from classic physique into the open bodybuilding category. And I'm kind of excited about that because I don't know a lot of guys who have fully documented that. Like, I documented my entire natural bodybuilding career to my enhanced. I documented a long time ago my pro debut for natural bodybuilding. If you don't follow me on Instagram, feel free to do so because I post a shitload over there about what I'm doing, how I'm going to do it. And yeah, I'm very excited to share this kind of process with you guys. I might dive into some of the more taboo topics, if you want to call it that, and chat a little about farm and what I'm going to be doing with that. Outside of that, I'm also going to be talking about my food. I'm going to be talking about my training. So for you all, please tell me what you want to see with this transition from classic physique to open bodybuilding. What questions do you have about how that looks? What questions do you have about where I'm going to be headed during certain periods in time? So like what my periodization looks like, if I have body weights planned, things of that nature. Whatever you guys would like to see, I'm all for. I'd love to give you guys as much value as possible in this cool little transition. I think there aren't many people out there who have done things the way I did, where I went through an entire 10-year process of natural bodybuilding, and before I ever touched anything, I consulted with a farm expert on how that all works, and then I started stuff, and I took a full year making sure everything was fine, getting the proper lab work done, making sure I was responding to the pharmacology correctly before I started a prep. So 1 year after being on stuff, I started a prep. I did the Arnold Classic Amateur. It was a fucking amazing time. I got like 5th out of 36 or something. From there, fine-tuned a lot of things, learned how to peak myself. I did nationals in 2020. I got the pro card. Then I went and I took a full off period, put on the necessary 10 pounds, did a few pro shows. Just haven't been making it in classic because the cap and pulling down and having to pull out farm, and it makes it tough to get like lean enough. Like I can get pretty shredded and lean, but when I hit about 230, I already start to see some semblance of glute striations, and I know it's like, okay, I got to start pulling out some pharmacology because I stop losing weight and I start gaining weight. I start gaining muscle while dieting, which is funny because, I mean, that's just what anabolics do, you know? Like, it's possible. So I'll be taking stuff out, and I don't know if I end up taking out too much or if I'm taking out too little, and then I end up taking out too much, and I look worse at like 220, 215 than I did at like 225, 230. Did I want to nail that combination? Yeah, I wanted to. But I think that being 30 years old, this was my last year. I really wanted to give Classic a run. I think Open has been my calling for quite some time. And if I want to push to the Open, it is going to take a good 2-3 years. I'm not going to do it all in one go. So this was definitely the smart call. And like I said, I don't think many people have documented that entire... Fuck, it's been 13 years, you know? And I started kind of documenting things when I was a natural bodybuilder back on Instagram in like 2013, 2014. So it's been about 10 years of documenting this entire process and learning a shit ton about myself, physically, mentally, you know, all the old cliches and adages that come with bodybuilding. So this will be no different, except for I have a YouTube channel, and it's a spin-off of the RP YouTube channel. So you'll be able to follow over there on the RP Strength channel. We'll have a bunch of videos there. You'll be able to follow my little personal journey on here. And hopefully you guys continue to get a shitload out of it. I am seriously, I'm ready. I'm ready for this shit. And I think that it's going to be a damn cool look by the end of it when I go to the open category and, you know, mass my ass up to like 280 or some shit and come down. So as long as my health holds up and all goes to plan, we're looking like 2025 or 2026 before I even start a prep. So that's that, you guys. Thank you for following. Thank you for watching. I genuinely appreciate it, and hopefully you guys continue to get a bunch out of this. So I'm gonna get off here. You know, I rambled for 11 minutes now. That's good. Didn't know if I'd make it to the end of the video or not. Again, appreciate it, guys. Let me know what you want to see. I'm all ears. Peace.
You guys want to outro the shit?
I think you can do it.
Sure. Oh.
You're good.
Yeah? And then you can get more.
Yeah, I just have audio.
All right, folks. That's the workout. Tristan, pleasure having you here.
Thanks for having me.
I like your haircut.
Thank you. I like yours.
Shut up. Jared,
Like his haircut?
it's not a part of him I don't like. Quote, every brown girl in the world. Cash me out.